So this video is going to be about how to connect your save data on a new device or retrieve save data on a new device or whatever the case may be. I don't care if you're using Apple, Android, whatever, the concept is the same. Now, when you pop up on this screen, and mind you, I bought a new phone 2 days ago, and the reason that I'm actually doing this is because the app will not open and it keeps crashing. And this had happened to me on my Stylo 4, and I ended up having to buy a whole new phone. Well, believe it or not, the phone people don't allow you to install SimCity, build it prior to purchase, just to make sure it works. So a problem that I've had is I buy a new phone, and then the phone doesn't work. The phone works and it's a good phone, but it doesn't play SimCity Build It. It crashes on startup constantly. And it's really quite frustrating because so far I've only had this issue with LG. All my Motorola devices have worked, you know what I'm saying? So this is my second attempt at installing the game and seeing if I can get it to work, and I figured that I would show you guys a video on how to connect save data while I was in the process of yelling and screaming at this piece of shit phone. So when you start up, you're going to see this lady here. And right here, it says that, we are committed to providing you with a great gaming experience. Well, that there is a lie. Okay. Anyways, the age requirement. If you don't put this age requirement high enough, you will end up in a situation where you can't connect your save data. Or at least that's the way it used to be. And I'm not really in the mood to find out if it's still that way. Now, I don't know what that age requirement is. It used to be 12. Then it was like, oh, somebody told me it was 18. So I'm not going to sit here all day and dick around with this, but just for, the purpose of the video, make sure that, or not even the video, just make sure that you don't put it below 12, or I would go up even as high as 18 just to be certain, because one of the girls in my group that had her game for a long time, she wanted to connect her save data and she could not figure out what was going on. And I'm like, all right, uninstall it, reinstall it. And she got to the point where she was picking the age. And I'm like, didn't you put over 18? She's like, no. And I'm like, that might be why. And I looked it up and that was why. So if you're unable to connect save data and you're also unable to join groups. Now, keep in mind, this was about 2 years ago. So I don't know if it is still that way. If it is, comment below and let me know, yeah, hey, that does still happen. If not, it may have changed. I don't know. I just want to give you guys a heads up. It's not worth it. You just slide the bar over. Okay? So this is the beginning of the tutorial. Now, it used to be that Daniel would pop up you have a button, the settings button at the top right corner of your screen, and it would pop up right after you visited Daniel's city. Okay, and you travel back to your city, that's when the settings button pops up. Now, I believe that they started the settings button even sooner than that now. And I think it's right after the second house gets placed. But let's find out. And keep in mind that this game has me at my wit's end. Okay, you guys? I'm going to be putting out videos for you, obviously on the contest of mayors, but other things as well. Because this shit right here, I'm getting sick of doing contest of mayors videos, to be real with you. But I think I've got a new technique to use that will make it understandable for people to where I can get on with other videos. So here you're going through the part of the tutorial where they're showing you how to place a house and how to place a shop. Now, many of the people watching this are probably people that know all this stuff, but for the purpose of the video, we're going to pretend that most of you are beginner players and have no clue what's going on, okay? So this here is a residential home, okay? This is a normal residential. This is a shop. This is where you're going to make certain items in the game. Now, a nail does not take 4 seconds. It's just for the purpose of the tutorial. It's moving quickly. So you would collect your item in the shop, it goes to your storage, and then you're able to place down another house. Now this is when the settings button should, okay, so the settings button has popped up. Now I can either proceed on with this annoying, stupid tutorial, or I can click the settings button in the top right corner of my screen. I click off music and off sounds because I can't stand it. And then what I can do is I can hit login with Facebook or login with Google Play. Now, whatever one I click is going to go whatever city I have saved to whatever I click. So I have like 3 different Google Play accounts on this particular device. I know that 2 of my Google Play accounts are connected to a random feeder city somewhere that probably has lost an address or somewhere. I don't know. But my main city is connected to my Facebook, okay? And just so you guys know, you cannot, or up until as far as time as I can remember, you cannot ever wipe your save data through Facebook for SimCity Build It. I had to contact EA and see if it was possible to, let's say I wanted to erase my city and then use the same Facebook for a new city. They don't allow that. You have to make a whole new Facebook or use a Google account. So if you're wanting to use the same Facebook that you've already used on a different city, they don't let you. And then they'll say something stupid and they'll be like, well, why don't you just bulldoze everything on your map and start over? Okay, first off, that is the stupidest solution because now all I did was set myself backwards. I bulldozed all my stuff, all my accomplishments, but then kept all the baggage of like, and what's baggage? Okay, being high level is baggage, right? Because you have too much shit unlocked. Screwing up and not having all of the... Why would I bulldoze all my home? Like, oh my God, dude. I just could reach through the email screen and smack the shit out of whoever's behind the computer screen over there. Now, I can either proceed on with this piece of crap city, this one level 1 city, or I can log into my main city, which is my level 99. So I hit connect, and then it says the other city population 52 level 1 will be lost if you choose this game. Yes. Now, it should load up my city. Now, here's the problem that I've been having. Once I loaded up my city, it allows me to play the game. And then when I close the game and I try to reboot the app, it crashes. And it did this on my Stylo 4. And I ended up, like I said, I went to the phone store. And of course, I got some idiot behind the counter that really doesn't know anything about phones. But because they have a job there, everybody seems to think they're an expert. And they're like, maybe it doesn't have the system requirements. I'm like, really? Okay, dude. I just bought a Stylo 4 and I had the Stylo 3. So the system requirements are lower on my old phone. Why would that even have, like, why would you even say something so retarded, you know? And then it was like, well, maybe you should uninstall and reinstall it. And I'm like, really? You don't think I tried that like 97 times? Then it was, well, you know, maybe it has to do with the RAM. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, this guy, right? And so I'm like messing around with the phone and I noticed that it only had issues when I wasn't at home, right? Or no, when I was at home. So I would leave and I'd be driving around and I'd open the game and it would work. And then I'm like, okay, so every time I go home is when it doesn't work. Then I go to the phone store and it works. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, if I were to go home right now, this shit wouldn't work. Now, I'm not on Wi-Fi at home. I was using my mobile data the same as when I leave the house, but it was only when I would leave the house that it would crash. Then I get a message from Chronic, a girl in my group. And she has this situation where she can't play her game when she's connected to Wi-Fi. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, I can only play on mobile data. The moment that I connect to Wi-Fi or whatever, it won't play. And I'm like, that is so fucking weird because, I mean, it doesn't make any sense why that would be. You know what I mean? And she said that it would, I said, well, is it Wi-Fi anywhere in particular? Or is it like Wi-Fi at work or what, right? Now, eventually, she ended up in a situation where like her tablet would play stuff and then her regular phone wouldn't. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I said, well, contact EA. And of course, EA gave her some bogus ass story. So we're going to see if this works. And if it doesn't, you may not hear from me for a while because I might smash this thing into a billion bits. Now, another thing I've noticed, depending on what operating system you have, is like, I have my tablet and I have like 4 phones now. Okay? I don't run feeders on them. I have a feeder on one of them. And I was going to do a community depot. which I'll explain that in another video. But the point I'm getting at here is I have all these different things that had better load, dude, or I'm going to flip. See, it does that. It blinks and then it shuts off. What the fuck? And it's so frustrating, you guys, because it was working yesterday. And I know that, like, okay, so on one of my phones, I can't click the chat bubble when I'm on the more screen or when I'm on another person's city. I can only chat from my capital map or whatever map I'm currently using. But on all my other ones, it allows me to chat from any city, and whether I'm on the war map or whatever. And so this blinking shit is exactly what it did on my Stylo 4. Okay, so I don't know how to fix this. So I guess that's what I'm going to be doing all day, is trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with this piece of shit phone. So if anybody has an answer to this, yeah, let me know if you guys have had this problem and if you've actually been able to fix it. Because as you saw, I reinstalled it and it didn't work. So I guess, I don't know, because I tried the settings. I don't know if I should try like the assist. I don't know, dude. You look up shit on Google, you type it in, and they're like, well, you know, reinstall it. Or, duh. Like, I guess maybe what I should do is, I wonder if it has to, no, that can't be. All right, you guys, I'm going to put this video up. If anybody has an answer, let me know. And don't just give me some stupid ass answer that you think, oh, you know, maybe you should throw it in a toilet. Like, come on, dude. Like, be fucking serious. Don't tell me to reinstall the damn app. You just saw what happened, okay? And I'll reinstall it 97 more times, and it's going to continue to do that. That's obviously not the problem here. Now, I did notice that it took a while to, I know this, like, Moto gaming thing was on, but I'm telling you guys, this game worked last night, and I haven't been able to get it to work since. Now, I thought it might have to do with the recording app. And so I shut the recording app off because I was like, well, every time I hit record is when it was doing it. And so then I shut the recording app off, and then I'm like, no, it just was a coincidence that it was doing that. And so as you saw, the game works through the tutorial. So why doesn't it work once I connect the save data is the question. I mean, I guess I could close it with the tutorial not done and then try to open it again and see if it just... Because as you saw when I connected the Facebook data, I could have stayed playing, right? I could have done that, but I closed the game. And it doesn't do me any good if I play it for an hour and then I close it and I can't open it again, right? So I guess I'm going to try to go figure this out. And like I said, if anybody has any actual real helpful answers, please let me know.